Hello and welcome to Loose Queens, a vlogcast where we explore the diverse world of drag and serve up some fascio-type comedy. This show is hosted by me, Auntie Ginger, aka Ms. Drag UK, and also my co-host, Donna Matrix S&M Queen to the Stars.
Yes, and don't you forget it, Miss Auntie, yes.
I won't, dear, a dent.
You wouldn't, not with this in my hand. Yes, it's Donna Matrix here, S&M Queen to the Stars, and over the course of a number of shows, we'll explore a range of drag artists and stars with performers from all over the UK. We'll have more and more episodes as we want to represent as much drag as possible. So kings, queens, AFAB artists, and so much more.
So join us each show where we will have a special guest in the studio to chat about their drag and to see what we can learn as a pair of loose queens. So this week,
yes,
I was at a old people's home.
Old people's home, now,
yeah.
And thank the Lord there were loads of people there. Not one of your normal gigs where there's just two people.
No. It was full. They were a captive audience.
And they were watching.
Yeah. Couldn't go far, unfortunately.
Right. And what happened?
So it was called Pride of Gracewell.
Yeah.
They did something to raise LGBT awareness to people who were kind of over 65.
Right.
And they hired me as their drag queen. And actually, it was really lovely because they'd had some pushback from relatives and carers of some of the residents saying, well, they wasn't sure it was appropriate.
Right. Okay.
But actually, they really loved it. And it's one of the nicest gigs I've ever done, where they made a huge amount of effort into how they dressed the venue and how they got all of the guests and relatives and the people who are at the residency interested. We had media attention as well, which was really annoying because
I saw you on the television.
Yeah.
You were.
But I had my my laundry day wig on. I wasn't wearing nails. You know, I was thinking, well, do you know what? It sounds really bad, but no one's going to know I'm doing it, right? And then all of a sudden the media turns up.
There you go.
It was probably one of the most fun gigs I've ever done.
Wonderful. Very positive.
Very
well
nice.
done you.
Now, Donna.
Yes.
Your roadkill dress.
Yes.
I believe this lights up, am I right?
It does, yes. It can actually light up. My two flashing orbs will come on.
Okay.
So let me just... I
believe you are like a flashing orb.
Exactly. Here we go. And I'm going to just put them on now. So there we go.
Very swish.
Right, move into the light that way. Can you see it both flashing there?
And you do this with your customers?
I do, yes. Oh, yes, a lot of the time, depending on who wants to come and see me. Well, Brian Cox, Stargazer, oh, yes.
I can't say that.
Yeah.
We can't say who it is, really.
9 locks.
Yeah, there we go. That sounds like a good idea. I think legal will be all right with that.
I'll just turn it off.
So, who have you nearly run over with your roadkill dress today?
Well, now let's have a look because I've been swerving all week trying to avoid them. So let's have a look and see who. Now, there we go.
Wow.
Now, who could that be? Again, they were.
They look like they were on their way to Waterloo.
I'll give you a clue. All 4 of them just walked out from Aldi. And they'd just been in there buying some natural yoghurt, some soy milk, and some fritzels or something like that. Right. And they walked out in front of the car, and that was what. So hopefully, the quiz is. Who do you think those?
Well, I think they look like they're on the way to Waterloo. Okay, so coming up this week, we have our fabulous guest, Eva Serration.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, regular at my shows. You've met her before.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Really amazing performer, so I'm really looking forward to seeing her.
Yeah.
But before we get on to that, how can people contact us, Donna?
I will get that in one moment. Here we go. It's our Nokia. It's your 1G Nokia phone to represent how can they find us. And you can find us on Instagram or Facebook, which is search for @LooseQueen.
Yes.
And but don't look for us on Twitter.
No.
Don't even bother.
Not even there.
Nobody control us on there. We don't bother with that. So it's Instagram, Facebook, @LooseQueens. You can find us there. Come and say hello.
Okay, and also we have another guest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear.
The one who helps us on every episode.
He's here.
We couldn't afford the real thing. Due to budget constraints, we got a budget Alexa. Bit of a regret.
But
it's okay. Please welcome our paranoid Android virtual assistant device. Hello, Gerhard!
It's me, let me go. I can't take this anymore. Hello, you two.
Do you think
Hello.
that's a hint?
I feel like it's definitely a hint.
I was having a word with the producer. I sent him an internal email to say, why with all the glamorous, beautiful guests do we have to totally scrape the barrel with the presenters? I tried to be nice last week, and I realized I was living a lie. Please stop this. You've had a go. You've tried. That is the great thing. Well done. But go and do something else. Anyway, have you had a good week?
We've had a marvellous
Well,
week.
yes, Ginger has been performing to an old people's home and did very well.
Yes.
And I've been battling with the military in my chamber. I won't say any more than
Bringing up the rear guard, I'm
that.
sure.
Oh, there we go. Now,
I've had another software update,
Oh,
and
right.
we're now super duper autocorrect. But because people were using the previous one in 5 children this Christmas will be getting a visit from Satan. But maybe the lives you two lead, maybe that was expected anyway.
well,
So-
I have a quick question for Gerhard, because with all the information you're retaining, you need, obviously, computers need to delete.
Yes.
So how do you dump your files, Gerhard, when you're full and you need to go? How do you...
How do you digest?
Yes, how do you digest?
Nothing ever gets deleted.
Oh,
It just gets saved on the files to maybe use at a later date.
right, I think that's gone very CIA, so we'll have to be careful.
It's all out there, whatever you say, whatever you do, even the outtakes.
I
for
feel
this
like
piece
I
of
need to
shite.
invoke. I think I need to invoke the safe word.
Yes, yes.
Prematurely.
Very good, very good. So let's bring that in now. So
Yes.
now, in any case, some would want to use a safe word, which is very popular, used in an S&M session. That's the world I'm in. And we use a safe word. So, for example, in that classic example where aunties felt uncomfortable, where the CIA could be listening, so or she gets too much heat from our outfit, so you can use the safe word. So, Gerhard, here we go. Are you ready, Auntie?
Let's get the drum roll.
What is the safe word for this week?
Und today's safe word is Oklahoma.
Oh. Can you sing a bit of that?
And
Oh, not me. I apologize.
Well,
the only one I remember is I can't stand litter. Isn't that from Oklahoma? I think it is. Anyway, thank you, Gerhard,
yes,
for that
thank you.
interesting input. I'm sure we'll be hearing from you later.
so now let's find out what's been going in Auntie's world. What's been going on?
Yes. Well, I've spent a bit of time
Yeah.
in Cello Corner
Oh, it's
again.
Cello Corner
with my
again.
words of wisdom.
Oh, wonderful. Let's see what we've got.
Do you know, this piece was used in a chocolate commercial. It was Fruit and Nut. I binged it that day.
Now, yes, it was another sort of deep moment
Yes.
that you've obviously, through the cello, the power of music, we're thinking about it.
I think I should have given up at the G string, don't you? Right.
Can I just say, you've got lovely strings.
Thank you.
Auntie, there we go.
So, let's get on to introduce our very
Yes.
special guest,
Yes.
shall we? We have Eva Serration.
Oh.
She is an amazing artist. You know, she blows fire. She performs in circuses. She does many different
Wow.
characters. She was a regular at Cha Cha Boudoir. She's appeared many times at my shows, which means she's got good taste. And she's got a real heart of gold. She's also from Stoke-on-Trent, but we won't hold that against her. And her humour is very sharp, and she does some amazing looks. We love her. It's Eva Serration. Welcome.
Yay!
Thank you. Namaste, or should I go?
Maybe.
How are you feeling?
I would say I was hungover. Actually, no, I am hungover. I only had one drink, but Chinese people can't take their drink, so yeah, head in the ditch somewhere.
Were you gigging last night performing?
Oh no, I wasn't. I wasn't even in the village. I was in a rock night at the Deaf Institute.
Okay. Oh, the Deaf Institute.
In Manchester.
Yeah,
For people who don't know, that's a sort of rock a venue in Manchester.
yeah. Usually, it's usually a place that has like gigs and like music gigs, but they sometimes hold like queer events like Bollocks, Homo Electric, and as venues go, it's fantastic. So when they're doing a rock night there, I had to get there.
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
So for people who don't know you, and if they don't, they should, tell us what Eva Seration's all about.
Right, Eva Serration. The name itself stuck with me from from my favorite horror film when I was 10 years old, Hellraiser 2.
Right.
And evisceration means, for those who don't know, means to gut and disembowel,
Okay.
which I thought.
Brilliant.
And I'd always been wasn't into horror, so when there was like a market for like horror queens, I thought, okay, that's the train I'm going to jump on, and it's all about the horror of beauty
Yeah.
and the horror of the world.
Yeah, well, you do some tremendous looks.
You really
and,
do.
And I've seen you live, and I love. And you've mentioned Hellraiser, another favourite film. You do a Freddy Krueger
Yeah, that was my favourite
look,
as
which is
Oh, I
just
love
amazing.
that.
And again, you seem to be inspired by horror films
Yeah.
and that sort of genre.
Shall we take a look at one of the photos?
Oh right,
actually?
yes, we've got
a couple.
we've got some photos. Let's have a look. So this is one now. So tell us about this particular photo.
This look was actually shot like upstairs in this little studio,
There's a theme.
There's
Exactly.
There's a lot of popular people.
and I just
Was that the drag lab?
that was the drag
Yeah,
lab thing,
okay.
and there's a lovely photographer called Rudy.
Yeah.
He was doing lots of photo shoots for people, and I happened to jump on one of them. There's absolutely no story behind this. I just thought, okay, I've not seen this look before, not seen this wig in this combination before. Put it all together, and bam. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's how my process goes. Sometimes there is no grand plan; it just happens.
And I think that fun. And with a lot of your look and your outfits as well. Do you make those yourself?
I wish I knew one end from the sewing machine to another.
Yeah.
I know where not to put your finger,
Right.
and that ends there.
Now, just to introduce you, Eva, it's Gerhard. It's our
Hello,
crap
Gerhard.
Alexa device. He's from Germany, and he just went to sleep there, but we've turned him back on. So let's say a little hello. Hello, Gerhard.
Yes, hello, Gerhard.
Guten Tag.
Hello. Yes, thank you. I didn't fall asleep to you, Eva. I was just waiting for these two idiots to stop talking. I find it's best to try and nap or switch their ears off in the interim.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over the sound of your mustache.
Oh, that's very.
Oh, finally, we get justice for Gerhard.
Flirting at such an early stage in the conversation. You can flirt with an electronic
I
device.
know. I
it's
work in
fine.
the circus, and we get a lot of strong men with mustaches like that, and they are very handy to hold on.
They are. He could be one of those weightlifters. That's where the moustache is, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's where.
I mean, I would like to know still why the 80s porn tash.
Why not the 80s porn? You've got to have something to get hold of on me.
And the same question: why the 80s porn hair?
Oh, now then,
Well,
dear.
I love the 80s.
As I say, you've got to have something to get hold of.
Yeah.
There's
So,
plenty to get
there
at
you
as
go.
far as I'm concerned.
We've got the level of Gerhard there, so we'll chat to him later. So,
Keep
so-
it gay hard.
yeah, we've got to keep it. Can you see his flashing lights? Very LGBT as well. isn't it?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
It's where RGB meets LGBT.
Oh, a technical joke. We like it.
Yeah.
Oh, very,
We'll
very
chat
technical.
Photoshop later. Obviously, we'll have.
So,
No, we definitely should.
so back to you. I think we've got another
Oh
photo
yes, let's
of
have a look.
yours.
We've got
Let's get
another
onto
photo.
that.
Let's
Oh, see, this, I didn't ask permission for this. This is a one from my show. It's just a self-plug. It's shameless, you see.
plug.
This was absolutely fabulous. Do you want to tell us about this number?
Oh, this one. Oh, okay. I just remember when the whole Dancing Queen gate with Theresa May came about. Theresa May is one of my favourite characters to do.
Yeah.
And when you asked for something more vintage, I thought, okay, something old school, something a bit more vaudeville. And I did have a cane, and one of my main fortes in circus was twirling stick-based things.
Yeah.
What we call staff, but anything like a stick. I thought, okay, what can I do that is a bit more like old school? I'm thinking, oh, top hat and cane number. And so, Dancing Queen, little stick, there we go, merge the two. And I've got a tailcoat as well, which I always want to do. And I always like to do like a Marley and a Dietrich look. I love the idea of gender bending on so many different levels, like a woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman. That's something I love doing as well. Basically, androgynous things where I play like a butch lesbian type character.
And and Theresa May was a kind of popular topical figure. I mean, she's moved on now, but are you always looking for the latest thing, or you keep your eye on the news?
Well, people have asked me, like I say, Theresa May or Theresa Dismay as this character. She was very popular, and she was very bad for the country. But
Good for your career.
Yeah, absolutely good for my career. And so I was like thinking, and when she left, I'm thinking, oh no. And I did a final show for her at a Manchester International Festival where I said, got to say goodbye to her. But then someone else offered me money to do another act, so I said, sod that, I'm going back.
I mean, honestly, I don't. You've seen the advert where she's leaving Downing Street and then she runs through the fields
Yeah.
of wheat, and I was just getting really excited. I was like, please let Eva do this number. I'm so
And I
loved
did.
it. Did you?
I used the Fields of Gold by Eva Cassidy.
Okay, we need to find that. And
Oh, no,
put that.
there is footage. I'm trying to edit it together from different sources because it's the phone one that my friend sent me. For some reason, the sound was out of sync. I'm not sure if it was his phone that was recording, but it was the lip sync wasn't syncing up.
But we'll find it.
Yeah, but also there was some drunken lass right in front of him, and you can hear everything she was shouting. I think I need the audio from something else to do that.
So, one of the things I think's fascinating about you is just how diverse you are and how, many different things you can turn your hand to. Where do you think that comes from?
Desperation.
I will get booked.
Yeah, book me. I'll do a cooking show if you want. But actually, I will actually.
That's a good idea. Well,
Noted.
because I love all the different outfits. If I could just ask, is there any time when you've had a wardrobe malfunction or that it's not gone according to plan?
They tend to be. They tend to be quite mundane, not catastrophic enough to be something that can be entertaining.
Right.
But they tend to be like the odd, okay, zip's not coming undone here, the Velcro is getting stuck to your dress, so the reveal's ruined ever so slightly, but nothing ever so like, oh my God, that's the worst thing ever. It was just like, oh, okay, fair enough, done. So nothing that bad. And something I can just brush off going, yeah, that happens.
It is. It happens, and sometimes people just don't notice, do they?
And even if it does get catastrophic, then you can use that to your advantage a lot of the time.
You can, yeah.
And people appreciate that if you make a mistake, at least draw attention to it, make a thing of it, and then move on.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And that's an approach you'd have in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Drag Race UK. Let's
Okay.
talk about it.
Okay.
Anyone you're excited to see this year,
Well, I think
wanting to win?
because, like I said, I'm not one of those people. I don't really follow that many queens. It's not a case of me being shady. It's just a case of like I'm too focused on my little thing. I don't have a lot of time to focus on anyone else. But the only person I know of is Davina Ticampo, who is a local legend. So I'm eager to see what one of our homegrown queens is going to do on our show.
Is it the kind of thing you would see yourself doing? Is it not for you? What are your thoughts?
Oh, for me, I am at the point where we previously said that I had no idea which end of the sewing machine is which, and I would rather be able to use one before I even put myself forward for anything like that. And also, at this point in time, I don't think I'm ready for the scrutiny of the entire world.
And yes, because it's very, especially with live performance, you're being scrutinised all the time by audiences, and with your performance as well, because it's very music based, and I love the tracks that you use.
Oh, they're ingenious.
And so those tracks you put together, are they from film scores that you use?
Yeah. Because it's very hard for me. The hardest thing for me to do in drag is to do a straight lip sync with no edits. It's just me and a song with nothing there. That is one of the most terrifying things for me to do. So any queen that is able to just take a song and a stage and do wonders with it, I bow down to.
I mean, it's like Alana Devey.
Yeah.
Alana Devey can do a straight number, like a Barbara Streisand number, and she can bring a stage alive. And I'm amazed how people can do that. But I think there's also, and I do believe this, 90% of a performance can be in a track if it's really geniusly edited.
Yeah, because for me, I come from a film like a studies was a background.
Yeah.
The entry point I got in was especially from Cha Cha Boudoir, where they take like a concept and a costume and create a story around it. And for me, the way I work is that I want the story to make sense. I want it to flow.
Yeah.
I want there to be a distinct beginning, middle, end. Like things happen and it progresses, and it's almost like a 6-minute live meme, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where you take the song idea and the costume idea and turn it into like I want to be pretentious and say art, but yeah, that's what I want.
I think
to say.
memes are art.
Yeah.
I think they're brilliant. Sorry, go on.
And let's say memes are art. That's definitely true, because art should be taken out of the hands of like high lots of society where only the rich people can experience it, and because art is about about giving ideas across to other people, and memes are the simplest way to do that now, and they are no less valid than a Mona Lisa type thing.
And
Is there something? Sorry,
Sorry,
Ed,
sorry.
Is there something that you haven't achieved yet, as in performance? As in, you have wonderful costumes, brilliant performances. Is there something you think? Yes, I've got to do
That's
that.
my goal.
I've got to do that performance.
There's quite a few I've got in my back catalogue. No, not back catalogue. There's on the back burner, and it's just waiting for like the right platform. Because even though sometimes I have something, I'm thinking it's not right for this particular show.
Yeah.
It's not right for this particular venue. It's not right for this particular audience. And you have to be very
timing.
good. You have to be a good judge of that, because sometimes if you're performing to a more arty crowd, like a simple lip sync might not work unless there's something going on there. Whereas, and vice versa, like a very complicated political arty thing is not going to go down well in a bar. So you always have to pick and choose what is suitable
Yeah.
for that, and otherwise you just. Some people say, do what you want, never mind the audience, but that's not always true. But sometimes it's true, but it's that fine balance between the two. You have to also straddle.
one thing I'm interested in is sometimes I've seen within numbers you've used Asian content.
Yeah.
So is that something that's important for you into your art?
Yeah, you may not be able to tell, but I'm a queen of colour. I come from Chinese parents, but born in Stoke-on-Trent. And there's been a thing in recent years, especially where racism in the gay community, or the LGBT community, not just in Manchester but all over the world, there's been a thing about how white-centric it's been on both like performers, drag queens, promotional material, where I mean, superficiality in the gay scene is not a new thing. There will always be images of a ripped muscly, toned men on posters to advertise the venue, because simply put, sex sells. And but to exclude queer people of colour from certain promotional material tends to it's sometimes not even done deliberately. It's just the case that it's just a systemic oversight that people always will find white fit men more attractive than others, but I don't think people deliberately go, we don't want queens of colour on there or something like that. But so it's important for me as a drag queen performer to actually put myself out there to do content that isn't just lip syncing to an English song, because a lot of the time I do love lip syncing to foreign songs. I can lip sync in 6 languages but only speak 2.
Wow.
But yeah,
What's the different languages you can?
I can lip sync in English,
Yeah.
French, German, Romanian,
Yeah.
Russian,
Right.
Spanish, Cantonese, Japanese.
Wow.
Wow.
And what's the hardest to actually get?
That was 8, I think.
I should be able to count them Asian, but but the hardest is never about which language you say. It's just more a case of how long it takes and how much care and intention you take to actually just learn any lyric.
Of course,
And
yeah.
what do you think the things that you want to do with your drag next, and perhaps whether that's in the context of continuing to provide education for people around people of colour, or actually anything else that you want to do?
At the moment, I have been told that a lot of what I do is politically minded, and I want to carry on doing that until we don't need to. Because entertainment as a platform is very good it's a good way to disseminate political ideas. So if you can disseminate anti-capitalism, anti-austerity, anti-racism things in a 5-minute entertaining, a performance, that's a good way of telling your audience, this is where I'm at. This is where you should be at as well. Or at least this is an idea you should take on board anyway.
Yeah.
And because drag itself is a political act anyway, it'll never stop being a political act. And I even said to someone once that I want to get to a point where I might be sad about it, where drag is no longer needed as a political tool or even entertainment tool, because the idea of a man in a dress, a woman in a suit, and every variation between no matter what gender identity you identify as, that this will no longer be a novelty. This is something you can do, walk in the streets.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that a man can walk in a dress, women can already walk in suits, but they still get accosted for looking too manly anyway.
Yeah.
But if we get to a point where we can walk down the streets wearing whatever we like, I hope that drag is no longer needed.
Yeah.
And you, but you do a fantastic job of it, and it's a delight to have at every show. I never, really adore the unpredictability, actually. So it's a fantastic outfit.
And most importantly, because you have such fantastic outfits, where can people find you on Instagram, social media?
Yes.
Do you want to give us a bit of a shout out now?
Okay, I usually just my main in terms of promotional thing is usually Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is Eva Serration, Eva, what's it, the word?
Yeah.
The name Eva, and Serration, the jagged edge, what's that thing?
I'm never going to forget Hellraiser. So it's like...
Because the word evisceration is spelt differently to how my name is. And you probably find me there on Facebook as well, same thing. And Twitter, which I've only just joined in recent months, but I'm still getting used to because I don't like it.
We don't believe in Twitter.
Sort of like
we believe it's flown the nest.
Yes.
But for those who care, Eva_Serration.
Brilliant. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So much. You've been fabulous. Well done to Eva Serration. We'll give her a round of applause.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, yes. Thank you, Eva. Brilliant. Absolutely.
She was fab.
Was wonderful.
Really wise.
She was. She was wonderful. And she's stunning. And I do love her looks.
I love her. I love her to bits. Let's not forget your slice of comedy for this episode,
yes,
Donna.
Let's have a look. This week we go over to our very, very special guest.
Very special.
Oh, this guy's crazy. He's out there. He's called Rod Shepherd, and he's a slacktivist.
He's slacktivist?
Yeah, a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
So let's have a look. Rod Shepherd here, conspiracy theorist and slacktivist. Wake up, look at the bigger picture. I'm the whistleblower, get out there. Walk into Boots and say, do you sell shoes? Because they don't, do they? Now you're getting it, yeah? Why Subway sandwich shop's always above ground? Now you're thinking, yeah? Walk into Diesel Jeans and say, can I have a pair of unleaded? Yes. Who's this? You haven't got a clue? Who's that? You do now. Tell you what, I've got some truth nursery rhymes for the kids, for the little ones, because we got to wake them. Mary had a little lamb. Her father shot it dead. Now it goes to school with her between two chunks of bread. Do you see what I'm doing there? I'm connecting it. Vegetarianism, climate change, Greta Thunberg, ABBA. It all connects. Wake up!
Well, thank you, Rod.
Oh, yeah.
He looked familiar.
He did look a bit familiar, didn't he? I
Yeah,
wonder where
I'd say.
he's coming from, yeah.
So that about wraps things up for this episode.
Okay.
But if you want to follow us, you can. Donna, what's the contact details?
Of course, let me quickly get... Here we are, Auntie's Mokia 1G. You can find us on Instagram at Loose Queens or Facebook at Loose Queens. But remember, we're not on Twitter.
No.
Oh, no. We don't bother with that.
And we nearly forgot to reveal who you nearly ran over.
Of
Let's
course,
get there.
We better get this out there. So, and there was a little clue there from Rod there. So
really?
Let's just see. And if we can show the slide. It
Oh,
was ABBA.
ABBA.
Of course. There we
we
are.
go.
The theme connects. There we are. So they were on their Waterloo, quite
But
honestly.
I'm glad that the ones that are still alive, that you didn't nearly run them
Of
over.
course,
There
yes.
we go.
Well, yeah.
The gays would be raging.
Well, because they're recording a new album, apparently,
sure.
so we can't wait. So, anyway, I'm glad I didn't run them over, and the gays aren't furious. But now it's that time to go over. Yes, it's Gerhard. It's that man of the
Final
moment for our
thought.
Jerry Springer summing up. So, Gerhard, can you please give us our final thought?
When you learn something new, especially something that's not connected to your day job, it can be inspirational and life-changing, unless you've just learned what teabagging is.
Thank you, Gerhard. I'm giving you a little spank there as well.
Hurt me? No, I'm not into that.
Okay.
Fine.
We need to
maybe.
talk about consent after.
Yes, we'll get over
Right,
this one.
get back onto legal. Okay. So, well, thank you very much all for watching. Thank you to my co-host, Donna Matrix, S&M Queen
Thank
to
you,
the
Auntie.
Stars. Thank you to Gerhard.
Yes,
You've
thank you,
been a
Gerhard.
legend,
Always
dear
a problem.
Gerhard. Yeah, very much always a problem. Thank you very much also to you, the watchers, again, to our guests, and to me as Miss Drag UK.
Oh, yes, and our crew as well.
Yes, and to our crew,
Yeah.
our technical people. And remember, if you're not a queen, you're
Right.
And remember, if you're not loose,
You're not a queen.
goodbye!
Wiedersehen.
Yay.